During this period, from 1977 to 81, Master toured within the towns of Andhra Pradesh, teaching, healing, and imparting yoga. He was staying in such places as Srisailam, Srikakulam, Rajamundry, Vijayawada, Machilipatnam, Hyderabad, and Divi Koduru. He made one formal visit to Chennai too. During his stay in these places, he was imparting Master CBB Yoga during morning and evening hours. During the day, he was imparting the science of homeopathy, and after the evening hours, he was discoursing on various aspects of wisdom. He thus prepared these places to be the future centers of yoga activity under the auspices of the World Teacher Trust. Groups were formed and activities were commenced with respect to prayers, homeo dispensaries, and study of wisdom material. Even today, these centers are vibrant with activity. It is in this period between 1976 and 81, Master also conducted marriages of his second son and first daughter at the same time. The year 1976 being the Golden Jubilee year relating to the birth of the Master, the group celebrated in a grand way the Golden Jubilee under the leadership of Sri Kumar. A colorful souvenir without any advertisements was brought out and was offered at the feet of the Master. At the request of the group, the Master gave out an invocation which eventually formed part of the evening invocation amidst the groups of the World Teacher Trust. It is also in this period Master shifted to the residence of Sri K. Parvati Kumar on 22nd April 1977. He conducted prayers and every form of worship and ritual such as Abhishekam, Homam, Lakshmi Narayana Puja, Lalita Sahasranama Puja, and a temple relating to seventh day activity. It is also in this year of 1977, in October, Master initiated a school in the name and style of Balabhanu Vidyalayam during the auspicious days of Vijayadashami. As early as in 1972, the Master also commenced a monthly magazine, Navani, for transmission of wisdom to those who follow him. It is again in 1977, Master embarked upon the project of commenting on the scripture Srimad Bhagavata, explaining the intricacies of the scripture and the profound science it contains in relation to cosmogenesis. Between 1977 and 81, the activity within Andhra Pradesh was consolidating. Sri K. Parvati Kumar was assisting the Master in such work of consolidation. The Phase 2 tours to the West commenced in the month of Leo on 2nd August 1981, contrary to the first phase, which started in the month of Taurus. In the second phase, Master chose Sri Parvati Kumar to accompany him to the tours in the West. Sri Parvati Kumar was associated with Master E.K. since the last week of October 1971.
Sri Kumar, as a young public accountant, had just then started his career in 1970. In October 1970, Sri C.P. Rao and Sri K. Parvati Kumar established the firm Rao and Kumar Chartered Accountants. The firm successfully grew step by step and today is one of the most reputed firms of chartered accountants in Andhra Pradesh, India, which is ably handling matters of accounts, audits, finances, and taxes. Sri Parvati Kumar single-handedly guided the firm to its heights after Sri C.P. Rao departed in February 1972. Master E.K. invited Sri Parvati Kumar to constitute the World Teacher Trust and frame the bylaws relating to it in October 1971. Ever since, Sri Kumar is associated with the work of Master E.K. He was shouldering gradually responsibility after responsibility relating to the work of the Master. He was growing inside and outside by his own effort, supplemented by the energy coming from Master E.K. By 1977, he was shouldering significant responsibilities relating to the profession and the work of the Master besides his family. Considering the energy compatibility with the family of Sri Kumar, Master chose in April 1977 to move his individual residence and his place of work to the first floor of the residence of Sri Kumar, Radha Madhavam. It was on 22nd April 1977 during the midday hours. In fact, the building Radha Madhavam itself was bought by Sri Parvati Kumar on the 22nd of July 1974 as per the recommendation and advice of Master E.K. Sri Kumar was of 28 years by then. Ever since, they were working together in manifesting the work conceived by the Master. Many times, Sri Kumar was found to be adequately telepathic to know things relating to the work of the Master even before it was expressed by the Master. This affinity in the subtle plane grew from strength to strength in 4 years. Master E.K. and Sri Kumar did the first prayer at Radha Madhavam on the 4th of November 1974 at 6 p.m. and the formal housewarming called Gruha Pravesham was performed in February 1975. Today, apart from being the residence for Master Parvati Kumar's family, Radha Madhavam is a center for several activities relating to the work of the hierarchy. Master Parvati Kumar was born on the 7th of November 1945 at Vijayawada as the third son of Sri K.V. Shastri and Srimati K. Ramalakshmi. In the horoscope of Sri Kumar, the sun was in Scorpio and moon, ascendant and Mercury were in Sagittarius. In the constellation Moola, according to the solar calendar, and in the constellation Anuradha in Scorpio according to the lunar calendar. Neptune, Jupiter and Venus were in Libra in the 11th house, while Uranus was in the 7th house and Saturn and Mars in the 8th house. Sri Parvati Kumar grew up in a deeply spiritual family. His father was a convinced follower of Lord Sri Rama. He lived a life of total surrender to God with utmost discipline and a strict rhythm. Through his own lifestyle, he imparted that kind of discipline to his 7 children. He was a good father, a teacher, and a friend as well to his children. However, at the age of 51, he left the physical body. At that time, Sri Parvati Kumar was just 21 years of age. His mother, a warm-hearted and a joyful woman, always cooperated with her husband and helped him to achieve his noble aims. In this blessed family, Sri Parvati Kumar grew up. He was a very gentle, amiable child and was the delight for people around him. As the father passed away, Sri Kumar volunteered to shoulder the responsibilities of his father in relation to the family. He also shouldered the responsibilities relating to the family of his professional partner, Sri C.P. Rao. It is in his quality to volunteer wherever he sees the need and pick up the needed responsibility. At school and at college, he was always the best, and his academic career was one of brilliance. He was at all times the teacher's delight. He studied at the Andhra University in Vizag, where he stood first in the university in his BCom Honours examination in 1965 and was awarded a gold medal. He was once again a university topper in the MCom degree examination conducted in 1966. In the same examination, he holds the unparalleled distinction of having scored the highest percentage of marks in the university, a record that is unbroken till date. Sri Kumar has the rarest honor of being conferred the Doctor of Letters by the Andhra University of Visakhapatnam on the 27th of August 1997 in recognition of his invaluable services to the human society. Till date, he is the youngest person and also the first person from the commerce discipline on whom the Doctor of Letters is conferred by the university. Sri Parvati Kumar was also a good sportsman. His favorite sports were tennis, table tennis, billiards, cricket, and ball badminton, where he won many awards. Sri Parvati Kumar received the first impulse from the soul in his 10th year and on his own volition started worshipping Lord Shiva. Right from the childhood, he was considered a good singer who could invoke the divine presence through devotional singing. His father and maternal grandfather were frequently enjoying the presence of the divine through Sri Kumar's singing. In school and in college, he was singing to the joy of the listeners and was frequently playing the role of a female deity in the dramas. He played the role of Parvati and also Sumati, the mother of Dhruva. He was deeply inspired in the 10th year by the story of Parikshit when his father was reading the scripture of Bhagavata. In his 18th year, an Avadhuta visited the family and initiated all the family members into worship of Hanuman, a manifestation of Lord Shiva as Rudra. Sri Kumar was deeply inspired even in his 5th year by this Avadhuta who was found worshipping in ecstasy. It impressed the tender mind of Sri Kumar. When the Avadhuta visited once again and initiated them into the path of Hanuman, Sri Kumar took it with much commitment and worked with Hanuman from 1963 till 1970. Sri Kumar feels that all his academic accomplishments were due to the subtle assistance of Lord Hanuman. In his 24th year, another initiate in the line of Dattatreya, Sri Gulwani Maharaj of Pune, visited the family and initiated Sri Parvati Kumar, his mother, his only sister Parvati, and his youngest brother Shivashankar into the path of yoga. In the same year, through his younger brother Sri Surendranath, he came into contact with the mantra Namaskarams, Master, see, we, and with Master E.K. for the first time. Thereafter, a very deep relationship and intense cooperation between Master E.K. and Sri Parvati Kumar developed subtly. Master E.K. perceived, even at the very first meeting in 1968, the potential of this soul, and he felt a deep love for Sri Parvati Kumar. In fact, Master E.K. shared his idea relating to Sri Kumar with Sri Surendranath immediately after the first meet in 1968. He said to Sri Surendranath, "You all can follow your brother Mr. Kumar. You do not need to come to me for advices and guidance." Sri Kumar had got an able and cooperative life partner in the form of Srimati Krishna Kumari. Sri Kumar implicitly and completely obeyed the suggestion of Master E.K. in deciding to marry Srimati Krishna Kumari. Sri Kumar was firm that the lady who joins him in the journey of life has to be the one who treads the path of truth as he does. Ever since their marriage, she has always been cooperative to the work of the Master, and she continues to be so. She had good psychical rapport with the Master, being Leo ascendant and Leo sun. In fact, the Master carried easier access to Srimati Kumari than to Sri Kumar, since the latter was always occupied with one work or the other. The Master was like a father to her, He took care of their children in more than one crisis. He even sometimes attempted to assist her in the kitchen when there were frequently too many guests at home. They had a very fine father-daughter relation. Till date, in crisis, Srimati Kumari deeply invokes the Master, and the Master responds to her with soothing blue in her brow center and dissolves her crisis. An Indian lady's crisis mostly revolves around her husband and children. She is the fortress and protectress of the family. If something goes wrong with them in terms of health, etc., she gets deeply perturbed. The group members also experience the same hospitality and motherly love through her. She served with joy the Master with many delicacies of Andhra food. Srimati Kumari was next to the lady of the Master in serving food to the Master. Along with the Master, she also served all those who came to the Master either for counseling or for curing of sicknesses. She is very well known in the World Teacher Trust, in the East and in the West, as a mother that serves food with love. From 1971, ever since the World Teacher Trust was constituted till 1977, Master E.K. slowly and gradually entrusted to Sri Kumar works and responsibilities relating to the plan, thereby releasing himself from certain works to undertake certain other works. In 1976, after the Guru Puja function, the Master, during his meeting with Sri Kumar, gently placed his right hand on the right shoulder of Sri Kumar and said with a smile, "Welcome to the group of World Goodwill." In July 1981, Master was giving homeo teachings in the town of Kakinada, 160 kilometers away from Visakhapatnam. One fine morning, he telephoned to Sri Kumar and inquired if it would be possible for him to meet as early as possible. Sri Kumar drove at once early in the morning to Kakinada to meet the Master. The Master was sitting relaxed in an armchair, smoking a gold flake cigarette, and received Sri Kumar with an affectionate smile. Sri Kumar stood before him and inquired of the purpose of the call. The Master said, "It appears that you have to accompany me in my tours to the West hereafter. Is it possible for you?" Sri Kumar said, "Yes, Master, it is possible." Master inquired, "It is very pleasant to note your readiness, but I wonder how it is possible for you. You have a very busy profession, wherein you are very successful and very much wanted by the business community. You have your family, especially with the two very little kids. Your lady and the kids need you. Besides, I have thrusted much work on you during these 10 years. On your young shoulders, there are already enormous responsibilities. Normally, I would not have ventured to suggest this to you. but the ones whom I follow strongly recommend that you should accompany me. By that, the work in the West will also be accomplished. I am thrilled at your readiness. Do not let this information out. You quietly apply for the passport." Sri Kumar smiled and said, "By the grace of the Master, I knew even in the month of February, on the full moon of Aquarius, that I would accompany you in your future tours to Europe. The passport also came to me not by my effort, but by the effort of a quasi-governmental client of mine who wanted me to travel abroad on an assignment for him. The numerical potency of my passport is 8. It was all clear to me, Master, that I will travel not for the client but for the work along with you. I will apply for the visas, and I will not by myself let this be known to others. But it is fair that I should tell my lady." Master smiled and said, "Give me the privilege of informing her. I am back in Visakhapatnam in a weekday's time." The master came to Visakhapatnam a week after. He summoned Sri Kumar and his wife to his room in Radha Madhavam and told Srimati Kumari that Sri Kumar was chosen for the work in the West as well, besides the work in the East, and if she wanted, she could also come with the children. The offer for her was open at all times for the future. Srimati Kumari was happy and consented for Sri Kumar's travel with the master, while she preferred to stay back for the sake of the children.
From 1981, the master went to Europe 3 times till 1983. Each time it was a 70-day tour. During these tours, many groups were associated with the books of Master Jwalkul came in contact with him besides the ones whom he touched in the earlier tours. The response of the occult groups was much more different now. The master could give the concept of group living and introduced effectively the energies of Master CVV through the morning and evening prayers. He found his joyful rhythm in the West, where he taught twice daily, gave meditation twice daily, and was also giving personal consultations throughout the day. He found his activity in its bloom, for he could not stay doing nothing throughout the day. The response was spontaneous. The word was received well, and he conducted tours to Belgium, France, Switzerland, and Germany. In the last year, that is, in 1983, he was also invited to teach in Italy and in Denmark. In fact, Sri Kumar also had to deliver teachings in Denmark in 1983 due to the demand of 2 separate groups at 2 different places, which was also foreseen by the master even before the tour. For the year 1984, enormous demand arose and an ambitious plan to stay 6 months in India and 6 months in Europe came to be. But it was not to be, as the time plan was otherwise. The World Teacher Trust Europe was established in Geneva in August 1983 with many representatives from all over Europe becoming the executive committee of the trust with the master as the chairman. Master expressed to Sri Kumar, I do not see your name in the committee. Why is it so? Sri Kumar answered, it is so because they do not see me. Master said, the organization of the World Teacher Trust grew from step to step under your direction and my presence all these years in India. I wonder what would be the future of this European Trust without you being there in the committee. Nevertheless, the World Teacher Trust Europe was formed, and at the inauguration address, Master E.K. struck the first bell of departure. It sounded so to Sri Kumar. While addressing the members of the World Teacher Trust in Geneva, the Master said, 30 years of work is accomplished. I have utilized my time, money, and energy to the work of the plan. I myself surrendered to the plan and to those who guide the plan. I still continue to be a humble student trying to learn precision in work and silence in the deeper sense of the word. The words went into the air, little realizing the note behind the words in the noise of celebration of the formation of the trust. Nevertheless, the work of fusion of East and West was strongly founded in Europe in the hearts of the groups. Till date, hundreds of members remember in their hearts the loving touch of Master E.K.
Master and Sri Kumar returned to India in November 1983. The Master was planning for quietude and contemplation. He was also subtly searching for places of solitude for the future plan of things. He came to Sri Kumar one day. Abruptly, he walked into Sri Kumar's bedroom one afternoon, which he had never done before. Sri Kumar was studying a book on the bedside. The Master rushed in, sat on the bed, and said, "It is already 1 month since we returned from Europe. The work is not happening anymore as it used to be. I am required to be in solitude and not move to places hereafter, even in India. I would like you to cancel the 1984 tour abroad. We shall plan it afresh later. Would you do that?" Sri Kumar nodded his head and sent messages to the West that the 6-month tour was not to be, since Master E.K. conceived another program. The groups in the West got disappointed. They were by that time accustomed to the teachings of Master E.K., which are normally very addictive. As much the Master looked for solitude, so much the groups in India were demanding to see him and felicitate him in their respective places. He told Sri Kumar, "Let us give shape to the new program after the Guru Pujas in January. Let me satisfy these Indian groups. Accompany me to these groups where they wish to felicitate me. Come with Kumari and children." Sri Kumar followed with family, and the felicitations were jointly done to the Master and Sri Kumar. The preparations for Guru Pujas came to be at the year's end. Master was actively engaged as usual in the preparations for the Guru Pujas.